All right, welcome back to another episode here on Mountain Med Axes, and today we are going to be working on the ash handle blank that we drew out on the bandsaw the last time. So we got a little bit of work to do up here on the eye, so we got a little bit to take off there. We've got our head pattern drawn out. We've got our center mapped out in the front a little bit. We've got it mapped out a little bit there, but we do have to, once we get this trimmed off, we're going to, since we do have our eye pattern on and our center mapped out in the front, we're going to finish this up and just follow our center line down. I need a center marker. That's one thing I need to keep my eye out on. I see them all the time at the flea market. I just need to pick one up, but I do need to get a marker, or I could order one online, but I'd rather have an older one. So hang tight. Let's cut this off. After that, we will trim a piece of Brazilian cherry, and we're going to laminate that on the palm swell. Due to the fact that the palm swell is only about 1.25 inches thick, we will laminate this one. We don't need to laminate the white oak, but we do this. So we'll cut this down, cut a secondary piece for the palm swell, and be on our way. All right, so we've already planed the bottom of one side, so we'll glue that on. We'll flush it up a little bit, but not too much. Since this already has a roll, you have to be careful. You want everything here to be flat. You want this to be flat, you want this to be flat and sharp. I guess sharp is a better word. You already know that this needs to be flat from planing, card scraping, whatever you do to get this area flat. We need that, but we also need sharp edges in order to make this laminate, in order to laminate this correctly. So we can do it without sharp edges, but we just need to remove more material when it comes time. So we got one, we need another one. I'm gonna put this in the vise for now. Our other pieces that we have are going to be good for, they're going to be good for wedges. I need a little bit smaller for this. If you're wondering how I'm liking the bandsaw, I'm absolutely loving it. There's the cut we just made. Very clean cut. There's our line. You can see our pencil line followed it really nice. So I'm gonna get you guys moved. We're going to go over here and I'm going to show you how I laminate a palm swell. Okay, so right now we have both pieces cut. So we have one for the left side and one for the right side. They both match in size. so there won't be any discrepancy when it comes to how high the lamination comes up on the handle. There's one thing I've learned when it comes to laminating palm swells, and that's don't use too thick of material. So if you have a thinner material that you can use it. Make sure you clamp it tight. Make sure the area is flat that you're clamping it to, and everything will be fine. Some people recess it. You can use a router to do that. Just route out the area and then flatten it with a card scraper or sander, or however you want to do that. You do want to rough up both surfaces, and just to make sure, I use a combination of clamps. I have several of these. This is an old Craftsman clamp. It works well, but you can also use a old Pittsburgh, C clamp, Bessie clamp, whatever you want to call it. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and sand the area. I really wish that I had not have rounded this. When I was just shaping it, I was just kind of looking at the palm swell, gauging what I wanted it to be, and I rounded it so it didn't blow out. That was my mistake. I shouldn't have done that. The good news is that the palm swell is big enough this way where I can take some of that, whatever's there, of a roll, like we have a roll starting here and going all the way to there, right? That can be removed. So whenever it's glued and laminated and I remove that material, I'll remove a little bit of extra material just to make sure that round is gone. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to sand that down. A block sander is fine. If you have a flat sander with a piece of sandpaper, that works well also. A card scraper is very good. You can see right here where I've kind of got into it from the smoothing plane. So this is a little bit bigger than a smoothing plane, but I mean, this is, all in all, this is woodworking, So be easy. You don't need a lot of pressure here. You don't want to create gouges. Got a little bit there. If you can prevent it from going the wrong direction, do so. Okay, so we are somewhat flat. I'm not going to lie and say that we're dead flat, because we're not. So what I like to do is, where's my sander? Okay, so I do like to, which this works also. This is a method I do like to use. So I'll take the backer pad off of the Makita and I'll just sand it this way. because it does have a hard backer. So because of the hard backer, it actually helps. So now, what I want to do, now that that's flat, right? We can test it. No rock. So there's no rocking in it at all. Nice, right? What I will do is I'll clean that. In order to do that, in order to clean it, there's a few ways. You can hit it with a torch just to burn that wood that's inside there, that's in this. You can hit it with an air chuck. That's one way. You can hit it with a Scotch-Brite. It's another way. So I like to just hit it with a towel, paper towel, some Scotch-Brite. As you can see, some of that stuff's coming off. It's just getting the fine dust. All right, so right now, we're going to sand this down. Just, all I'm doing is just roughing the surface area so it gets a better bond. Do it with that. I want to hit the whole thing all at once. So I don't want to focus on any one area or I risk making it uneven. So, all right. Beautiful Brazilian cherry. Probably use this as the wedge wood as well. So we are nice and flat. I'm going to pop you guys out just so you can see. You can see the roll though. You can see the radius roll right there. And that's what I mean by you want to get that out. You know, you don't want to put too big of a roll on it or you'll end up with that roll left in it. So what I'm going to do now is flip this over. I want to prepare every one of my clamps ahead of time. So I don't want to end up waiting till the last minute, having glue on it, and then trying to get the clamps together. So that's one thing I don't like. I like to be prepared. And so okay, that's good. I'll end up putting this on, right? And then I'll clamp these two sides with the Bessie clamps. So I've got that where I want it. Flip that over. Get the tight bond. Do not spare any or try to be stingy with it. Go ahead and lather this thing up almost like you're painting it. Okay, make sure you clear that air bubble. That little air bubble, just wait till you can hear it, right? Make sure it's dropped back down, pop that, and then when you do, wipe that off with a piece of trash in your shop. So just make sure that's off. It likes to get clogged up in there and then you end up having to swap it. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of it there, right? Some of it on areas we don't even need. We are going to go ahead and just squeeze it nice and tight. Spin it real good. Make sure we got it everywhere. Okay. Make sure you got it where you want it. Now that it's where we want it, I am going to do one side at a time. I used to do both. I'm not in that big of a hurry anymore. Want to make sure it's still even. Then I've got two areas I need to worry about. So one of the areas is right here. It's the only area touching the handle. So as I squeeze down, I can see it's squeezing glue out and getting tighter. Bubbles are popping, forming. So over here I'm going to do the same thing if I can. I'll have to pop that off for now. Yep. Well, maybe. Okay. It's all right, as long as I can get something on it. I'll also take and run my finger across to make sure we do have a good seal. We do. I do have another clamp. It's all right to get a little clamp happy. After doing stonework for so long, you learn, sorry guys, you learn that it's okay to have extra clamps. Very flat. I'm squeezing it in a bunch of different spots to see if I can make it any tighter. It does not appear that I can. I'm still going to put another one over here. This spot right here at the top where they meet and it blends, it's a very precarious spot. I don't really care for it to go past that because, as I've learned, really all I want is the palm swell area to be bigger. So right there at the end where the swell is, that's where I really care about it. So I'm going to let that set, clean up a little bit of this excess. There's the secondary piece. It'll be there. This is generally a, what I do is like 12 to 18 hour period. Well, that's very, very tight. So, all right, I'm happy. Got a good tight bond on it. No pun intended. All right, guys, what about the LL Bean? Who remembers that one, right? We got it pretty nice. Let's see. Do I have any iPro down here? Do I have iPro? That's a good question. I don't think so, but that can go there for now, and we can see how. Which, unfortunately, I was going to work on the LL Bean, Freeport, Maine. I love this Hudson Bay, but if anybody's interested, I will, after I fix it up, just hit me up. Let me know. Or if you're interested as is, I was able to straighten the handle out a substantial amount, so the handle is much straighter than what it was. We're actually we're on the handle now, so we're no longer off the handle, which is nice. I do believe that the handle is original and can be worked. As a matter of fact, I know it's original, but it can be fixed. It's got a little bit of damage there, but it's not terribly warped. Yeah, it's the original handle, but beautiful handle. Beautiful handle, beautiful size. I really like these. These are great axes. Just this size in general. This is 24 and a half inch, well, 24 and 3/4 of an inch, which is amazing. It has somewhat of a wedge pattern, so you could limb with this. You could probably split kindling with this. There are several different things that this is good for. But let's go and let's move on to a project I've kind of been working on for a while and neglected. So I don't really like to put axe handles directly in there without some sort of padding. So what I'm going to do is I usually use Scotch-Brite. So I'll wrap it in Scotch-Brite. Put it on there, and I want to try out my new draw knife. Who doesn't want to see that? Okay, so we can see the area we need to remove. There we go, perfect. And y'all be easy on me, because obviously this is the first time I've used it, so I'm just going to kind of ease into it until I get the hang of it. The only other curved draw knife I have is the L.I.J. White. All right. Oh wow, that feels way different, but super nice. I had it upside down, but I was just seeing what it was doing there. All right, it's pretty nice there. All right, this side it looks like it's kind of heavy. It's grabbing there. If that was the side that things smoothly came off on, this will be the side that grabs. So you can take it, once you get the angle down, and run it sideways. I don't tend to do that. I tend to go corner and just really isolate this one corner right there and go to town. Let's see. So I grab the tops, I get the corner, I can feel it's pulling, so I don't want to go too hard. I'm gonna try my spoke shave, see how it works. Much better on this. It's, I mean, really dictated by the wood, the grain. This is a really nice Whiskey River handle, so I'm happy with that. Sometimes I'll turn the spoke shave a little sideways on it, right? And get a bite in a certain area. See? Just one little area that I'm trying to work on, I'll hammer that with a sideways angle and just push down, like right there. Okay, we can get our speed square out of the way. All right. All right, let's see how it did. Let's see if it made a difference. Which, speaking of which, I've not cut a kerf with this thing yet. Let's try that. I'll move you while you're paused. All right, let's give it a shot. That worked well, very well. about as far as I'd want to go for now, because if I seat the head there, it's 2/3, but that's beautiful. I mean, all in all, that 1 horsepower has been a workhorse. Like, it's been a workhorse. So I'm overjoyed. I'll be able to make handle after handle after handle. I need to get a fair amount of lumber right now. I do have the mountain white oak, the 150-year-old white oak that's sitting out there that was just super tight grain, like on the side of a mountain. Just beautiful, beautiful wood. It's going to need to cure, so it may take a few. The way I'm doing it may take a little bit longer, so just bear with me. This one right here is going to look good on that white oak. This is what's going on the ash. The Craftsman, it's going to look friggin' awesome on that. I've already laid it out. And the Rixford is going on this, the big Dayton. So looking very straight, very nice. Okay, we are grabbing in the front, so our back area is super tight, but it's not too tight. So we'll pop that out. Which, by the way, now that I have that, I'm going to make a super nice drift to get all that stuff out. I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet, but I've got plenty of white oak. I was thinking about making a little hatchet handle out of this, but just like a little hatchet handle, but maybe not. I mean, the grain is just so nice. I don't know. And being heartwood, I'm a sucker for heartwood. So I mean, that's dead straight grain. I don't know. But either way. So I like the new draw knife. Great tool. Great find at a flea market. Let's see. I just couldn't be happier. It's going to take some getting used to, no doubt. So this needs to be cut down to continue to be a drift. I'll go back to using my normal drift, which is a 3/4 inch extension, if I can find it. Usually that's not something I misplace. Okay, here we go. Got it. Okay, beautiful. I mean, I could get aggressive with it, don't get me wrong, and get this thing hung pretty quick, but we might be all right with just a spoke shave. All right, I found the rip side. I want to start low because remember, I want to pull from here and make whatever area the head fits on the same as that. But if that's the case, the way it's looking like it's going to go on like this. So I got to be careful. I like Rixfords because their eyes are usually in pretty good shape. It does appear that we're hitting if you start hitting the front right there, it will kind of stop you in your tracks and not let you fully seat anywhere. It won't let you go down in the back. It won't let you go down on the sides. So you got to be careful. But if you notice that you're nose diving, usually that means that your front is too tight and it's catching too soon. And so this is catching. This is catching, this is catching, so you take that away and then it starts to nosedive. So make sure that your back is nice and rounded. Make sure it's not hitting right here. It likes to do that. Axes like to hit right there and push, and it's not the wood's fault. Most of the time it's the axe head. So oh, that's nice. Very straight. You got to look all the way down the bit. It can be deceiving when you look at the tip of your bit there and you're like, oh yeah, that's beautiful, right? And then if the bottom kicks out, it can look like it's off, but the tip of it is dead on. See, we're good. The bottom of this eye just does weird things. Like, look at the right here, you have a high center line more so than you have here. And that's noticeable with your hand and with your eye. Axes made back in the 50s, the 40s. I mean, it's just going to be a great all-around axe. So I'm excited about this. I should have got it hung months ago, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. Rixford R55 Dayton pattern. The bit's super sharp right now. I've got it filed up. Okay. It's a sexy looking axe. All right, we're 41 minutes in, so I'm gonna kill it here, get it ready to put the wedge in, and then I'll meet you guys back whenever the wedge is ready. And so keep in mind that I'm gonna have to do kerf work. Like, even though the bandsaw opens the kerf, you still have to, go in with a pruning saw or something and maybe make that just a hair wider. See, it's a beautiful, nice cut. Center, nice. But you just got to widen that out a hair. So you can clamp that and widen it. I can feel a little lip right there. You might be able to see it. Very tight so far. It's getting a great fit. This is I don't know, I guess you'd need light behind it, but it's got a high center line on it. Look, check it out. On both sides. There you go. I think the issue, it's more of an illusion because this part has a little bit of pitting, whereas a little more pitting, whereas this side does not. You look at it from afar, and it looks good. So, great looking axe. That's better. And that's not thickness, that's just high center line. Like, this doesn't have a thick bit all the way through. What you're seeing beyond that are the cheeks. So, look at how tight that eye is in there. Talk about a tight fit. So, check it out. This is one that I might put up. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to get the website up and running, mountainmenaxes.com. Bear with me. The domain is mine. The name's mine for years to come. So as soon as I get my LLC, I'll have axes, handles, heads. Like, you'll be able to buy an axe head if you just want to get an axe head. You'll be able to buy a handle, a head, an axe kit. So essentially what I'll do is, now these are going to be a little bit on the pricier side, but I'll go ahead and get the axe handle almost ready for you to where you can just do a little bit of shape work, put the head on, and then get the wedge. I'll have the wedge there too, and then you can throw the wedge in. Glue it, not glue it, however you want to do it. Was supposed to rhyme, but do it. Glue it, not glue it, however you want to do it, it's fine. But I'll make it easier on beginners just to see the process and what they need to do. In my opinion, man, if you love axes, you love axes. You got to start somewhere. I did. I started swinging at a young age, but I had never rehafted a handle at a young age. So, got to start somewhere. And I'm trying to make that accessible for those who haven't done this before, to where they can buy a head and a handle combination The head will almost fit the handle, if not fit the handle, and then all you'll need to do is drive a wedge in with some wood glue or not, or some boiled linseed oil or linseed oil, whatever oil of your preference, and be able to jump start and get to work, man. And you will be able to say, I hung the head, I did it myself, I put the wedge in, and you can still mess that up. Don't get me wrong, like just because the head fits on the handle does not mean it's ready to go. Like, you can easily mess up the wedge. That's one of the most pivotal parts. So you guys still got some work to do if we do go down that route, and I do go with that plan. So just hang with me, man. If nothing else, enjoy the content. That's why I do it anyway. The whole axe business side of this is just going to be essentially for fun and a way to continue the channel. As you guys know, making axes isn't cheap, especially buying heads. I continue to buy flea market heads, estate sale heads, yard sale heads, but Old Iron Tool, I think it's Old Iron Tool, Axe and Tool Works, is a big estate sale guy and yard sale guy, and I mean, he's not posted a lot lately. I know he did have an injury, and so, you know, prayers for him and his family. But the estate sales and the yard sales, I mean, unless you're doing that as a full-time job, you miss out on a lot of it. So flea markets are my main source of axe heads. I don't buy a lot on eBay unless it's a must-have thing. So I don't want to spend over $50 on an axe head if I don't have to. I have on a lot of these axe heads. So in saying that, it's not a cheap endeavor. And so I'd like to continue to produce the content, but as prices go up for food and milk and everything around us, some people are in better positions than others. And so if I can help somebody else that's just getting started in their journey, I'd love to do that. And I'd love to be a part of the journey as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you when I'm ready to wedge it.